Hello students, so this is my first class with you in English for the second year class. So earlier class was taken by Joshi ma'am. Joshi ma'am in her introductory class already introduced with you the syllabus. So from the distinction of the patterns of marks in the syllabus of English, you have already understood that the syllabus designed to give more importance to the creativity, because in the grammar and comprehension section we are given 55 marks, whereas in the text section, which is consist of two texts, is only given 45 marks. This means that the board and the system is giving more importance to your own understanding and to your own creativity, because the letter, notice and posters are all depends on our creative writing, and it is depends on our own composition. That is why they are given more importance to that part. So I am not going to discuss the syllabus with you. So I want to start with a very simple poem, very relevant to the time that we are living in. So the poem is Keeping Quiet. So Keeping Quiet is a poem by Nobel laureate Pablo Neruda. So Pablo Neruda is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basalto, who was born in Chile. So I want to tell you, in the text there is a very brief description given about Pablo Neruda. So amar poem burat ki thake olop poet jonar kotha thake hane. And one suggestion I want to make at this point, because there is a saying that empty mind is the devil's workshop. Hoy ne noy, jeti amar mon to khali thake ki ase bibhinno dhoroner kotha, beya kotha monole ahe, if we go through the so yeah, what I am telling is that আমি যদি এতিয়া নিউজ চেনেলবোৰলৈ যাওঁ, if we go through the news channels, if we go through the social media, there is all kind of negativity, right? যদি আমি গোটেই চাওঁ কি হয়, আমাৰ মাইণ্ডটো নেগেটিভ হৈ যায়, there is uncertainties, তো কি হৈছে আমি ভাল কথা ভাবিব নোৱাৰো. So in this context I want to give you a suggestion that you can go through the biography of your authors. For like English, you can go through the biography of John Keats, Pablo Neruda. Syllabus তোমালোকৰ যোনবোৰ ৰাইটাৰ্ছ দি আছে সেইবোৰৰ লাইফটো কেনেকৈ আছিলে ন তেওঁলোকে, বা তেওঁলোকৰ চাইল্ডহুডটো কেনেকুৱা আছিলে, বা তোমালোকৰ ইবোৰৰ ধৰা ষ্টিফেন হকিন্সৰ হওক, এলবাৰ্ট আইনষ্টাইনৰ হওক, আব্ৰাহাম লিংকন, মেলিন মস্কি, এইবোৰৰ তোমালোকে কি হৈছে লাইফষ্টাইলবোৰ চাব পাৰা, তেওঁলোকে কি কি কৰিছিলে. চ' ইট কেন গিভছ ইউ kind of inspiration. It can also motivate you, right? So for the leisure you can do these things, because there are only 3 classes given here. So okay, coming back to our poetry, Keeping Quiet, which is by Pablo Neruda. I am talking about Pablo Neruda. Okay, sorry for all the background noises. So we are talking about Pablo Neruda. So if you search the biography of Pablo Neruda, you can know his ideologies. He is the advocate of peace, humanity. When in his lifetime Spanish Civil War happened, he lost one of his very closest friends. I forgot the name. So that incident struck him, and she become the moment of liberal humanism. So তেতিয়া টাইমত কি হৈছে, নিজৰ ফ্ৰেণ্ডক হেৰুৱালে, ৱাৰৰ ফিউটিলিটিটো গম পালে যে ৱাৰ এণ্ড অল আৰ এইবোৰ চব এনেই হয়, মানে আমাৰ কোনো কাৰো কাৰণে বেনিফিচিয়েল নহয়, না উইনিং টিমৰ কাৰণে না লুজিং টিমৰ কাৰণে, দুইটা পাৰ্টিয়েটো লছ হয় নে, উইনিং টিমটো কোনোবাই মৰে ৱাৰত, আৰু লুজিং টিমটো মৰে, কাৰো এনভাইৰনমেণ্টৰ লছ হয়, তো চাৰিওফালে কি হয়, চবৰে লছ হয়. মানে ট্ৰু মিনিংটো যদি ৱাৰৰ আমি চাবলৈ যাওঁ, it is futile, it has nothing, it is hollow. So সেইটো মানে পাবলো নেৰুদাই এডভোকেট কৰিছিল. So in the poem Keeping Quiet, we can see his ideology in this poem, reflecting in this poem. Sorry. So a brief description about Pablo Neruda was given here. Pablo Neruda, the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basalto, who was born in the town of Parel in Chile. Neruda's poems are full of easily understood images which makes them no less beautiful. So there are poems like, if we go through the poems of Sarojini Naidu, Kamala Das, they are very simple, very relevant, and we can easily understood these poems. But if we go through the poems of T.S. Eliot and W.B. Yeats, they use like difficult images which is very difficult to understand. But Pablo Neruda আমাক এই কাৰণে সাজেস্ট কৰিছে যে সেকেন্ড ইয়াৰ ষ্টুডেন্টছে ভেৰি মানে সেকেন্ড ইয়াৰ ষ্টুডেন্টছে হওক বা যিকোনো সিম্পল মানুহে কি হৈছে ভেৰি ইজিলি যোনটো সাবজেক্ট মেটাৰ হয় হেতু গ্ৰেপ কৰিব পাৰে. He won Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. In this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection. Now, what he meant by introspection? So, we human beings got the tendency of judging others, right? We go through the faults of others. আমি সবে আনৰ ভুলটো দেখি পাও নে নাপাও, হি কি কৰি আছে, হি কি ভাল কাম কৰিছে, বেয়া কাম কৰিছে, but we never judge ourselves, we never self introspect. আমি কি হৈছে নিজক কেতিয়াও সুধি নাচাও, নিজক কুৱেশ্যন নকৰো, নিজে কি কৰি আছো, নিজে কোনখিনি ভুল কৰিছো, কোনখিনি ভাল কাম কৰিছো, সেইখিনি কিন্তু আমি কেতিয়াও নাচাও. সেইকাৰণে কৈছে যে এই পোয়েমটো পাবলো নেৰুদাই কিহৰ ওপৰত ইম্পৰ্টেন্স দিছে, হি ইজ গিভিং ইম্পৰ্টেন্স অন দ্য নেচেছিটি অফ সেলফ ইন্ট্ৰস্পেকশন and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. Like we human beings are not mutually related. We are deprived, we are isolated. আমি কি হৈছে নিজে নিজে আইসোলেটিং হৈ কাম কৰি থাকো. We are very busy with ourselves, our families. আমি ইভেন নিজৰ কথা ভাবিবলৈ কি হৈছে সময় নাপাওঁ. সেইকাৰণে এই পোয়েমটোত পাবলো নেৰুদাই he's urging human being to have a mutual feelings, to have a mutual relationship to tackle this all environmental and this nuclear problems. I'm here adding some of the pictures of our poet Nobel laureate Pablo Neruda, so that you can see it. So since we have discussed about the poet of the poem, that is Pablo Neruda, now let's go into the poem Keeping Quiet. So after the completion of the poem, you will apply the appropriateness of the title, that is Keeping Quiet, to the poem. So for the first two lines of the poem is, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So these two lines the poet is addressing to the whole humanity, to the whole world living in different countries. So he is requesting us to count up to 12 in our own mind, then we will all keep still. So ki korise 12 loike, there is no mention of 12 seconds, 12 minutes. They just 12 number eta lobole koise aru 12 loike count koribole koise. After that he is requesting us to keep still, keep calm and maintain peace. To ki hoise 12 loike koi pela amak ki hoise peacefully thakibole koise. So first duta line ki hoise amar gute whole world ok address korise. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So in the second stanza, there are 4 lines. The 2 lines, that is for once on the face of earth, let's not speak in any language. So the poet believes that language is the barrier. So in different kinds of different parts of world, there are different types of languages, different types of dialects. Even if we see Assam loike sao ba Ahomor beleg edoka horu jega loike jodi sao ami bahut type or languages ase, and a language like this language sometimes create barrier to communicate. Ki hoise ইয়াতে মই তাৰ আৰু এটা ফিলসফিৰ কথা ক'ব খুজো, the philosophy of existentialism মানে হল যে after the completion of the World War II, যেতিয়া আমাৰ কি হৈছে দ্বিতীয় বিশ্বযুদ্ধ শেষ হৈছিলে, the people realizes the futility of life. যেতিয়া বহুত মানুহ মৰিছিলে, বহুত property loss হৈছিলে, environmental loss হৈছিলে, তেতিয়া কি হৈছে মানুহে নিজৰ জীৱনৰ অনিশ্চয়তাটো গম পাইছিলে, the uncertainties of life. তেতিয়া কি হৈছিলে এটা কিছুমান ফিলসফাৰ্ছে যোনবোৰ এক্সিষ্টেন্সিয়েল ফিলসফিটো ওলাইছিলে, য'ত এটা কি এলিমেণ্ট আছিল টু the failure of communication. Sorry, I just forgot the word. So কি হৈছে আমাৰ মানুহবোৰে কি হৈছে কমিউনিকেট কৰিবলৈ ফেইল হৈছিলে, ইজনে সিজনৰ ভাষা বুজিব পৰা নাছিলে. দিছ ইজ মানে সেইটো অকল লিটাৰেল মিনিংটো নহয়, আমি ইজনে সিজনৰ মানুহক বুজি পোৱা নাছিলো, সেইকাৰণে এইটো ৱাৰ হৈছিলে ন. চ' সেই থিমটো, দ্য ফেইলাৰ অফ কমিউনিকেশ্যন ইজ again prevailing in this poem, that is keeping quiet. Let's once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Now the poet is requesting us to not speak in any language. So not even in gestures. So gesture is also kind of language. When আমি যে ইংগিত দিও চকুৰে কথা কওঁ সেইবোৰো কিছুমান ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজেছ হয়। তো ভাৰ্বেল আৰু নন ভাৰ্বেল দুইটা ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজতে কি কৈছে আমাক কমিউনিকেট কৰিবলৈ মানা কৰিছিলে ফৰ আফটাৰ কাউন্টিং আপ টু 12 লৈকে কাউন্ট কৰিবলৈ আমাক একো ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজতে কি কৈছে কমিউনিকেট কৰিবলৈ মানা কৰিছিলে আৰু আৰ্থৰ কাৰণে এবাৰ ভাবিবলৈ কৈছিলে। লেটস So the last line of the second stanza is significant. It is telling, and not move our arms so much. Here the poet is requesting us to not move our arms so much. The arm has two meanings. It has literal meaning as well as metaphorical meaning. By literal meaning, the poem is wanting us to stay calm in terms of physical. He is also talking about physical and also mental calmness and peacefulness. By not moving our arms means by not moving our body so much. He is wanting us to stay still. He is wanting us to not work for a while. So by arm, it has also another meaning, figurative meaning, that is referring to the use of weapon. Arms means weapon, or especially the nuclear weapons. So in that time, what happened at the time of war, the powerful countries, the advanced countries like Soviet Russia, then America, so they were using nuclear weapons. So nuclear weapons, we have the incident of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So different kinds of nuclear weapons were using by these powerful countries, powerful forces. The poet is urging these countries, the people of these countries, to not use this nuclear weapon for the sake of their own benefit or for the sake of their own ego. So etor armsor amar ki koise duta meaning ase armsor eta literal meaning to ase amar body to move koribole hak dise mana korise prothom to ki koisile amar to stay still for a moment, mane amar mental calmness ru kotha koise amar mind 12 loike count kori still thakibo koise, logote armsor kotha koi ki koise physical calmness ru kotha koise amar physical works ki koise like in the materialistic world, we people gets busy, we have works, we have to earn money, ami gute ki se physical work koru, mental labor koru, sob busy hoi thaku nijor kamon, hekane ki se gute humanity olop somoyar karone still hoi thakibole koise, peace maintain koribo koise. Aru by arms ki se second meaning to ki kolo, the use of nuclear weapon. Ki se beleg cities pura developed countries bilake nijor nuclear weapons use korisile beleg country against ji karone utte whole humanity loss hoisile. We know the tragedy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is still there in that place. The people has not survived yet. So hey gutte juntur atrocities, traumas, hey gutte bilakor pora atorat thaki pela amake nuclear weaponor use to rakhabole koisile. So I think that's all for today. So we will discuss, if you have not understood, if you want to tell me more in Assamese, we will discuss in the video conference in our class that will going to happen in the next day. So tomaloke ki ase prothame poem te pohiba, ebar self reading koriba. So jiman duta moi stanza pohalu he duta stanza saba aru eta stanza hoise koribo paru karon aru ase. So aru eta stanza kori disu moi. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engine. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. So the poet is now imagining that exotic moment. Exotic moment refers to an imaginary moment. Jitu kami mane imagine he koribo paru, jitu ketia loike feel kora nai. Foreign exotic means to koise je jetia kuno manhe prithibir kuno manhe 1 minutor karone kotha nokobo, engine move nohobo, there will be no rush, no engine, no human will talk, there will be no communication. That will be an exotic moment. He juntu moment hobo poete imagine korise je he moment to kenekwa hobo, exotic nohobo janu, hetu ami ketiao dekha nai, amar karone adbhut hobo. Exotic means adbhut. So we would be all together in a sudden strangeness. So that moment of what will bring that moment of quietness, that moment of peace, hey moment of quietness to amar karone ki anibo, that bring togetherness, that will bring a strange togetherness. Hey moment ki hobo, hey অলপ সময় যদি শান্ত থাকো, সেই মোমেন্টে কি কৰিব আমাৰ কাৰণে টুগেদাৰনেস আনিব, একতা আনিব, পিসফুলনেস আনিব, আৰু হোল হিউম্যানিটিটো কি কৰিব, এক কৰিব, ব্ৰাদাৰহুড আনিব আমাৰ কাৰণে। সো এই তিনিটা স্ট্যান্ডাৰ, সৰু সৰু স্ট্যান্ডাৰ বহুত মিনিং আছে, দেয়াৰ আৰ লোডেড উইথ মাল্টিপল মিনিংস। ইউ জাস্ট গো থ্ৰু দ্য প্যাৰাগ্ৰাফ, go through the stanzas, then and we will discuss it in the next class. Thank you.